Hello, my name is Amarjot Singh and I'm an ICCRC consultant based in Edmonton. Many people know that I love to do research and find out some hidden facts about all cases, especially express entry economic class cases, and try to bring out reasons which public can benefit from on why a certain case gets refused. One of the more popular categories from especially from India is where people who are landowners they are being approached by immigration consultants to help them file for immigration under self-employed category, specifically as a farmer, so that they can bring their farming skills and bring their money to buy a land in Canada and then qualify as a self-employed farmer. In this category, I want to show you one court case. As you can see on the screen, I'm on Federal Court of Canada website. These are Federal Court decisions. Anybody can go to the website and you can type any case, especially immigration cases, and read about them. So I have one case in front of you for you to take benefit on. Look at it. So you look at this. There's a file number, but you can search by this file number, and you can get the PDF thing as well, also like docket number. So this case was recently, actually, January 2018, just last month. Mr. Randeep Singh and Mr. Immigration. So this application was a judicial review application in the court to find if there was any mistake done by the adjudicating officer, the visa officers, the immigration officers, to deny him the PR in the economic class as a self-employed person, as you can see on the screen. Look at the background of the applicant first to begin with. And this is very common in many parts of rural agricultural India. The applicant is a citizen of India. He's married, has one child. He leases land in India from his father and has farmed there for several years. So he applied in 2014. This takes a long time, 4 years plus in these cases. Sometimes I see ads in the paper where they promise, oh, you invest this much amount of money, within 1 or 2 years you'll get the PR. Typically, self-employed as a farmer, 3 to 4 years minimum, all right? So as you can see, he applied in April 14. And it tells you clearly he applied as a self-employed person to plans to purchase and manage a farm. All right, so everything is right there. In 2017, 3 years after the application, there was an interview conducted in New Delhi High Commission. The interview lasted 20 minutes, as you see on screen, conducted in Punjabi. Look at the questions they were asked, and somebody who's not a real farmer, and I want to make a distinction on who's a real farmer, who's not a real farmer. Somebody who's just a landowner, he sits in his house and issues instruction to other people, his sub-employees, to do certain farming and, collect revenue and just deposit revenue in his bank account, showing some J forms. That's not enough to call himself or herself as a farmer. All right, so a farmer is a real farmer who's actually doing things hands-on in the field, and he knows exactly what he's growing, and he knows his finances. He knows who's being this crop produced sold to, and what is he buying and stuff. Look at this example. In this case, very likely what may have happened is he may have an immigration consultant who wanted to do a quick application for him, let's say, maybe, and wanted to get some immigration consulting fees, and without proper planning, I think this application was filed. The application's information is telling you that very simple questions were asked by the visa officer, New Delhi High Commission, and the applicant could not respond well, or at least satisfactory well. The applicant said this uncle lived in Brampton, was a real estate agent. Yes, he had farmed since 2003, cultivated 24 acres land, blah, blah, blah. Look at this. He planned to farm in Canada, but had not identified a location. How can a farmer not know where he's trying to buy a field and what he's trying to? His uncle says he could find a place. No, that's fake. He said he would buy 8 to 10 acres. When asked what cost, he responded, no, he did not know the cost of the land. The average farm size varied between 10 and 70 acres, too vague. When asked what would he cultivate, he said not sure, depending on what condition. When asked what grew in the region, he did not know pretty much. Not much. This is a general answer: wheat, barley, and soybean. He was not aware of varieties of wheat grown, wholesale price of crops. He said he didn't invest this. He was not aware. It sounds like that he was not prepared for anything on the application. I mean, no wonder that he was refused. All right. So I mean, what I wanted to emphasize is, just because you see some fancy ads in the local newspaper saying that we will apply for you as a farmer and you will get the PR with some rosy pictures of fields in the background, and you will become a landowner, and then PR, not no English required, nothing. That is not the reality. I mean, you have to be a real farmer, real money, real farming skills, real planning, real business plan. Only then you will qualify in this category. There are a lot of questions that were asked. I mean, look at all of this. When asked, well, what distribution channels, I mean, everything is right here. You can stop this video and read, and then you can see how, how ignorant the applicant was. I'm not surprised that this application was refused, but I wanted to show you what kind of ignorance prevails in this kind of category. And then people still fall for some, things from the immigration consultant. And for sure, the officer rejected the application. She found the applicant not self-employed. No wonder. I'm not surprised. The applicant applied for judicial review. I wonder why, because everything was, we'll see if there was any mistake by the visa officers. Both parties now the business plan, political supporting documents were missing, not contained certified driver record. Yes, okay, there was some missing documents. I'm sure there was something that maybe, I don't know what they planned for. Missing documents, applicant, all right, so I'm not going to look at these issues here. Go back. There are a lot of references here. If you want, you can go to these references and cross-check on whether those like procedural fairness was taken. What was the standard of the procedural fairness? Normally, it is what was referred to in this case, and referring to the Pompey versus Canada. Look at all other issues. The issues were, did the officer breach procedural fairness by not considering missing documents or not providing the applicant an opportunity to respond to a concern? I don't want to go into this. You can read the whole amount. I'm pretty much convinced that the applicant was given enough opportunity to explain and disabuse of any concerns that the officer may have, but based on the vague and absent, ill-prepared responses to the question, I think the applicant seriously looks to be not qualified. All right, so that's what it is. But if you want, you can read through it. You can stop the video and go page by page. All right, look at this here. Nevertheless, the applicant was asked many questions and given an opportunity to disabuse the officer of a concern. For example, officer, what would he cultivate? Where Brampton was located? What grew? Temperature? Blah 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 blah. A lot of things. Despite the applicant did not have attention, she was focused on knowledge. The issue is not a procedure. Okay, so reasonable answer. Again, I don't see any point why the lawyer brought a judicial review, knowing clearly well that I think the applicant is not qualified. Applicant's plans were excessively vague. He could not explain what he would cultivate, what crop prices were, what machinery cost, what land cost. I mean, all of these things have to be researched and prepared in advance of putting up this category of application, any category, especially this one. When asked what research he has, only referred to time of the year grew up, so could not refer to website. The applicant admits an affidavit. All I knew is that I wanted to settle in Ontario. Look at this statement, close to GTA, and that's all he knows about farming. Come on, there's more to farming than just living in GTA area, brother. So, just wanted to, no wonder application is dismissed here. Notwithstanding the applicant's previous experience as a farmer, which was being mentioned, given the farming price and likely different areas, were reasonable, the officer give a little bit to, yeah, that's hardly of any matter here. Application is dismissed, and the judge This is the docket number, Randeep Singh versus Minister of Immigration, Toronto. This is just recent, January 23rd. Appearances. Who is the lawyer? Waldman Associates. Wow. And I wonder what they saw on the case. So anyway, guys, just to blow the crack of the sheen, what people advertise on farmer. If you're a farmer, deposit this money and buy land, and it's not that easy to think that without any sufficient planning that you could become a self-employed category farmer in this immigration economic class. So take a look at this. Go to Google, and if you want, you can search this, and then you can read this on your own. So this is all I had to say. Be careful what you're applying for. Do some research. Ask your immigration consultant, a lawyer, if they have done similar cases before. Maybe they can show you some previous files, or talk to some other self-employed farmers who had immigrated through that same category, previous to you, so that you can check some references as well. All right. Thank you very much. Take care.